Now I've polished the output shaft, and we checked these, how sloppy they are on those bushes. So in this case we've got to replace those two bushes, but it's always a good idea to try and check them individually. The bushes are the same size, so you can just slide one of them in. These are about, I've measured it up, they're about 1 inch and 55 thou. These are about 1 inch and 75 thou, so they're about 20 thou worn, which is way too much. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and just change those bushes. Polished the output shaft where the bushes run, and over here, and keep going ahead with it. Here we've ran into a bit of a problem. We've just replaced these two bushes. I'm not going to label what they're off, but basically what's happened, I've replaced the two bushes that were pretty sloppy on this shaft here. The shaft's actually 27 mil, and I've put the new bushes in and it won't go over. So just to show you how to repair the problem, if you've put new bushes in and it's too tight on the guide there. Now there's a drum that goes into this planetary there, and if you have a look, I've just put two new bushes in, but they're too tight, so won't go at all. Even if I flip it around the way it's supposed to go, too tight. So I've measured it, and it's basically 27 mil, or 1 inch and 62 thou. Okay. What we do is we get what's called an adjustable reamer, and just to get a rough guide for I won't adjust it so it's tight, but just so it's nice and loose on the old bush. You can see that's in there. Now what happens as you screw this down in the reamer, these teeth slide along here and they open up wider. So you want to have it as loose as you can, and then gradually just wind it down until you get to the right size. I've just machined a dolly that's basically 27 mil, just so I can try it in that drum or try it in that bush as I gradually ream that bush out. So what we do is we basically put that on there slowly, and we do it all by hand. I've just put it in the vise. It might be better if we go the other way. So we just try and you do it with two hands just so you can get it all even, and just slowly winding it in. You can see it's slowly, you can see all the little bits of bush material coming off there. So we take that out now. We're just going to try the dolly in it. It still needs a little bit more. So you just do the reamer just a tiny bit at a time. That way it'll sort of machine it down nice and evenly. If you go too hard, it'll bite in too much, and it'll actually be too hard to ream down. So what we do is we just keep winding it down, testing it until we get to the shaft size. Now it is a patient sort of a job. You don't want to go too oversized, so we just keep going a tiny bit at a time. Sort of, you can see how much swarf's coming off there, and we wind it off and test it each time. Approximately these bushes were about 10 thou, too small, so that's how much we've got to go on. But it's always important to not screw down the adjustment too much in one go, so it doesn't bite into the bush too hard. If you just go a little bit at a time, it'll sort of machine it down nice and evenly. And you can see how much swarf's come off these bushes, so they were fairly oversized. There we go. It's been reamed so it goes on nicely. We'll just try it on backwards so you can see that other bush goes in nicely there. There we go, you can see it goes quite well. It does have to have a little bit of clay in there just to allow for heat expansion. When that bush heats up a little bit, it will grip onto that. Different metals heat and expand at different rates, so you've got to be aware of that as well. So you've got to go a little bit oversized, but not too much. Probably 3 to 5 thou oversize is probably okay with a bush that is that diameter, which is 27 mil. Anyway, hope that's shown you how to fix a problem if you run into a problem where the bush is too tight on the shaft when you put a new bush on. Thank you for watching.